Pandion haliatus, more commonly known as osprey, is an iconic fish-eating bird of prey species found on Long Island. If you've been to the beaches, lakes, or salt marshes, you've probably seen one gliding through the air. And if you were lucky, you might have seen it dive down into the water and fly off with a fish in its claws. Today, osprey have a healthy, stable population on Long Island. If you've lived here long enough, you probably remember a time when seeing an osprey was a rare event. Let me tell you the story of how osprey went from the brink of extinction to a thriving population. World War II was the first war in U.S. history where diseases carried by insects killed fewer people than bullets or bombs. The reason for this was dichloro, diphenyl, trichloroethane. You might know it as DDT, a powerful, cheap insecticide that saw widespread use during the war. After the war, DDT's use expanded into agriculture, forestry, commercial, and residential. At its peak in 1949, there were 80 million pounds of DDT applied in the United States. DDT runoff into bodies of water around the U.S. led to biomagnification of DDT from zooplankton to the top of the food chain. As you can imagine, this caused major problems for our fish-eating friend, the osprey. DDT concentrations of 0.000003 parts per million in water could lead to concentrations of 25 parts per million in fish-eating birds. These high DDT concentrations caused osprey eggs to become so thin that parents would crush them when nesting. Biologist Rachel Carson raised concerns about the widespread use of DDT with her book in 1962, Silent Spring, and eventually testified before Congress. Her testimony led to the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, in 1970. One of its first acts as an agency was to ban the use of DDT in the United States in 1972. Because DDT is such a long-lasting chemical, this had no immediate effect on osprey and other fish-eating bird species populations. Further conservation actions were needed in order to keep the Long Island osprey from going extinct. Eggs suffering from the effects of DDT were swapped with eggs from healthier osprey populations. But DDT wasn't the only problem osprey populations on Long Island faced. Tree logging on Long Island from the 1880s to 1986 forced osprey to find alternative nesting sites such as telephone poles or electric lines. You've probably seen the large wooden posts scattered around Long Island. These were built to give osprey safe nesting sites. With these conservation methods in place, the osprey population on Long Island recovered miraculously. Today, researchers believe their population is still growing. Conservation success stories like these give us hope for the future of other endangered species around the world. There are over 40,000 endangered species listed on the IUCN Red List. Hopefully, we won't let them disappear.